Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hate Everything podcast with your hosts, Jesus Christ, Johnny Bratsfield.
And Tracy Kellett.
Look. I feel like the coin flip is a great and cool idea. I think it's
cool.
very exclusive. I think it's very inclusive. If you're going to keep dropping it on the floor or fucking up the flip,
don't take the flip from
I
me.
will
It's all that I have.
I will take
It is
control
all
of
that I
this
have.
entire situation. I will mansplain the intro every time.
Don't do that. Look, I will get better. I told you when I took over the coin flip, I've had it from the beginning, that I didn't know how to do a coin flip. And I do feel...
And you did no research.
I didn't do any research. I watched some football games, but it was 2 hours and they hadn't even done the coin flip yet. So, yeah.
Wow.
Like the American flag was being spread across the field.
I need you to figure out how to do a coin flip, because if there's too many, if there's another couple instances like that.
I'm going to get one of those big coins that I can just flip on the table. You know what I mean?
No, you need to learn how to flip a regular coin before you try and flip a big coin, because then you'll destroy half the studio. Anyways, I'm feeling good. You feeling good?
I'm feeling okay.
I'm feeling great.
Why are you feeling great?
I'm feeling great because I
don't ever feel great.
I got my vaccine, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what?
He wasn't gonna do it.
I feel different.
You feel different. How?
I feel stronger.
Oh no.
I feel like a hero.
Oh no.
I
They are
feel
gonna have
like-
a black Superman.
I feel like I could do some superhero shit right now.
Okay. I see where
So
this is
I'm
going.
gonna
It all
have-
makes sense now. Now things are making sense. We had some prep and I didn't know what was coming, and now I know what's
So
coming.
if you could bring out the piece of wood
Oh my God, he's gonna.
that I'm going to break with my new superpowers that I got from my Pfizer vaccine.
One and done.
I literally, look, I went to go get the vaccine, and I'm sitting there, and like just the dirtiest people are in the room. This the people who I'm like, oh my God, this is who we shouldn't be giving the vaccine to. Like this, these are the ones that are expendable.
Right. This is Operation Human Shield. These are the guys that we need to send in the Middle East.
So I go in and I sit down, and I know she's probably heard every crazy thing. So I'm like, I'm not going to make a joke. I was like, I'm not going to make a joke because she's probably heard everything. And before she gives me the shot, she like looks at me, she like sighs, and she goes, "Do you have any questions?" And just the way she asked it, I was like, oh my God, what a long day you must have had.
When did you? And you were there at 9:30 a.m.
I was there at like noon. I was there at noon, so I know she's had a day.
Right.
And so I go, I have one question. And she goes, yeah. And I go, will it give me superpowers?
Did she even crack a smile?
No, this was the best part. As I said that, I go, will it give me superpowers? And she goes, I don't know. It's a new vaccine. There's not a lot of information out about it. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Oof.
That's all I was like, well, when I show
Thank you,
up on
Lorraine.
I was like, when I show up on Monday with a cast, you got me, right?
Right.
She's like, yeah. But because she said that, I need to see if I really do have
Oh my
superpowers.
God. Okay.
Because she's a medical professional.
This is not going to go well.
She is a medical professional. She said she didn't know. It's a new thing. There's not a lot of information on. Those are the words that came out of the medical professional's mouth that distributed
Oh my God.
a vaccine to me, an untested, not FDA approved vaccine. America, I'm saying the medical professionals are in doubt.
Production,
right now.
what kind of first aid equipment do we have on hand?
I'm not saying that it's a bad vaccine. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. What I'm saying is...
This is going to be the shortest podcast episode. You're going to the doctors after
It
this.
might give superpowers.
All right. But what if the superpowers have nothing to do with strength?
Well, we're going to find out today.
All right. Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're doing this.
Oh my God.
We're doing this. Hold the fucking wood up.
All right. I'm not even going to get down.
I'm coming
Oh, wait,
full force.
No, actually, I am going to get down. I need to get a good base.
I'm coming full force.
Okay, I got to get my center of
I'm
gravity
gonna
down.
miss and punch you in the tit. That's what's going to happen.
I thought I popped a tit earlier. Okay. Every woman has thought that.
Get a good base.
Okay, I'm going to keep it solid. I'm going to keep it sturdy. Oh my God.
Look, see, I even know the hand thing.
Oh my God.
I was in Taekwondo. hold it up. Hold it up.
Chris said higher.
Hold it up. Is that good? All right, we can see the wood.
Okay, can you see this? He's going to punch me literally in the face. Okay.
No superpowers. I didn't get any superpowers. But my hand does hurt. My hand does hurt.
Not even an indentation.
Fuck you. You punch it then.
No, I haven't gotten my vaccine yet. Oh my God.
You had a very sturdy base. I'm very proud of you.
You know my background. You know my background. I've had some MMA. It's fine.
Woo!
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. We'll find out in about 30 minutes
Oh my God.
if it swells up.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping for the worst.
It was a solid punch, though, right?
It was fine. It was a
solid.
solid punch. I could have done damage.
I always worry if I could.
Have you ever been in a fist fight, Johnny Bradstreet?
I haven't been in a fist fight since fucking like 16 years old.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right. Okay.
In my head, I like to believe
You're a
I
brawler.
could win. No, I don't know I'm a brawler. I know I'm not a brawler. I have no formal training.
You probably fight dirty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would fight dirty. I know
We
I
all
could
saw that coming.
I know I could save myself. That's how I never I don't
He's
think
like,
I could win a fight, but I know I could save myself.
No beauty or grace.
Yeah, dude, because here's the thing.
But just self-preservation.
I'm 30. If I get in a fight now at 30, there is literally nothing in my life. Like if I was to get in a fist fight, I'd be like, this needs to be done honorably.
Right.
Like,
no, I totally get that. I totally get that.
I'm 30. My back already hurts. I have a baby. Like I gotta get home.
Right.
Like,
I gotta get home, man. I gotta boil some water for some spaghetti.
I gotta get home. I will fucking. So
No, I get
if
that.
anybody ever wants to try me, I will pick up something.
I feel like we talked about getting in a fight before.
I
You
will
and me.
throw something.
We can get into a fight later.
We can get into a fight later.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
will throw things. It'll be like in the movies.
We're gonna do it not in the garage. I'm gonna go where there are no projectiles.
It'll be like in the movies when a wife is getting attacked in the kitchen and she just starts throwing things. Like that'll be me.
Awesome.
I will protect
I
myself.
would love to do like a reverse DV commercial where you're crying in the corner and I am just over top of you, like I'm just gonna fucking
like
beat
a
the
woman,
fuck
like
out
a
of your
woman's
face.
domestic
Yes,
violence commercial.
yes.
You never see those.
You
ones.
never see those, and by the way, they do exist.
I've seen it.
At a very high rate, but people don't like to admit
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not people. Dudes don't like to.
Okay,
admit it. That's what it is.
Dudes don't like to admit it. Yeah. So I think that should be our next commercial.
I used to.
It's me just beating the fuck out of you.
I used to have a room in this couple's house, and they would just fucking get into it.
Oh my god.
They would just get into it.
That's
knowing,
horrifying.
Yeah,
and she was beating the shit out of him.
That was the worst part. It's not because of domestic violence, but like the fact that I'm a guest there,
Right.
and you're still fucking doing it. Like
Right.
you know, that's when you.
Well,
know,
how much was your rent payment?
Oh, I wasn't paying anything.
And that's why.
Right.
And that's why. And that's why.
But we would like stay up all night getting fucked up, and then I would go to my room and pass out, and it would be like an hour and a half later, you just hear tussling in the room.
Wait, are you sure that it was?
No, listen. All right, look, it's tussling, and then it's the guy. I told you not to touch me like that. Like, don't put your hands on me like that. And then it would spill out into the hallway. Just like,
no.
ah, and the glasses breaking, all sorts of shit. It was wild.
Oh my god.
There's one night they had a party, and
Are they still alive?
Yeah, they're not together anymore.
Thank God. Thank God. Hey, but you know what that means? Check out on your Tinder.
Right.
There are 2 new fish in the sea.
But
They sound like winners.
one of my favorite nights was we had a party, and one of my friends stayed, and he was sleeping on the couch, and he was getting up because he was like, I'm just gonna leave. It was like 1, 2 in the morning, and then he got up to leave, and he was like walking towards the door quietly,
Right.
and then their door flew open, and they were like fighting, and so he said, instead of leaving, he ran back to the couch and pretended he was asleep. I was like, dude, it's not your fucking parents. You could have left.
American heroes.
That's what your tax dollars are going towards.
Well, I'm really bummed that he didn't break his hand. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, these are bones of steel. That might be my superpower.
That's your superpower, is that you could just keep
I can
not
just
actually
punch
doing
wood.
anything efficiently or effectively.
Wow.
You just don't.
Wow. I punched one piece of wood, and now I'm just not effective.
I'm just letting you guys know that not even a
Then you punched the fucking
No,
wood.
I'm not. I didn't get
You're
the
talking about
vaccine. I didn't get the vaccine.
There's no dent.
Yeah, you'd think that you'd at least have an
You
impression.
ungrateful son of a bitch. You piece of shit. I punched a piece of wood for the program. What are you going to do?
probably throw up later. So here's something that has been upsetting me. Okay, and here's the thing. There are a lot of you don't care about comedy. You're obviously watching us just because you love us. Our personalities really shine.
Or somehow we tricked you into clicking on this.
Right. So. Which, by the way, we would love to trick you into becoming Patreon subscribers. But
subscribe to the Patreon. It is now turned into a fucking ad. What's going on?
We have one subscriber, which I have a screenshot just so I feel successful.
Yeah, we have proof.
So here's the thing. I run a comedy show. I have a monthly showcase here at the club, Looney's Comedy Club. Plug. Shout out to Looney's. Come on down to Looney's. So I book a monthly showcase, okay? And I book like 7 comics. It's a huge show, great show. Come on down to Looney's, June 3rd. So I have gotten some shit monthly under the guise of a joke that I don't book enough female comics. Okay.
Well, do you book enough female comics, or are you discriminating against women?
I am not discriminating against women.
I feel like you might be discriminating against women because I feel like you are in charge of a show as a woman, and so you're like, I'm going to take this opportunity for me. I think you're being very...
Just so you know, when I book as many comics as I do about 3 minutes of material, okay?
No, so, I think you are really this riding the wave of being in control.
So here's... Oh my God. I am about to break the wood for Johnny on Johnny. So here's my thing. And I feel like this ties into some things that have been happening in the comedy community recently. You never know the whole story. You never know the whole story. And it's not just in the comedy community. Some things have happened recently, and I do think it's important to know the whole story. And maybe your belief ends up being right when the whole story comes out, and that's a beautiful thing. But you never fully know what's going on. You never know what communication has been sent. You never know what was supposed to happen and what didn't happen. You don't know what other people that you're accusing of things are doing within their community. So I've met with several female comics and helped them write. And I have pushed several.
Are you trying to say that you like women? Are you trying to say that T.H.E supports women?
Yes.
This is a crazy stance. This is a crazy stance for T.H.E, a woman, to be taking, is that you support women in comedy?
I support women in comedy. I've pushed several females that were very funny into doing comedy, that they started doing open mics. And you never know.
Like Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro, you're welcome. I saw you
Amy
in that movie.
Schumer.
You're
Remember
welcome.
when you were fucking cleaning shoes at the Foot Locker?
Until you met Tracy Kellett at Gold Camp Brewery, and I changed your life.
Elisa Schlesinger.
I wrote her roast jokes.
Remember when you were just a woman on the streets, just a homeless urchin, and then you ran into Tracy Kellett with her Doc Martens?
He said homeless urchin.
And you ran into Tracy Kellett and her magical Doc Martens. And she gave you the opportunity to be on Joe Rogan. You remember that? You remember that before you say Tracy Kellett doesn't book women? Tracy Kellett books legends.
So the point of the story is...
I'm on every show, by the way.
You never know. You never know the whole story, okay? So on the show that is coming up, I had 2 female comics booked, and they both had to come out because of scheduling conflicts. One is running a festival, and another one got into a festival. And those obviously are going to take priority over my shitty show, okay? And I totally understand. So my thing is, general statement, it's not just about me and the perception that I'm deliberately not booking women, because I am. And if there's someone available in a pinch and it happens to be a dude, I'm not going to say no just because they're a dude.
Right.
Okay? I'm not going out of my way. But
you say no if they're black.
You just said that you were on every single one of my shows.
Well, see, when you say there's more to the story, a lot of the discrimination...
It's about being more to the story. There's more to the story.
A lot of the discrimination is coming from me.
It's not coming from Johnny. God damn it. So all I'm saying is...
No, I get what you're saying.
It's so important to know, and I hate to use like the iceberg thing, but you see the tip and you don't see what's going on underneath. You have to know, and you have to understand that there's more to the story. And I think it's important for everyone to keep that in mind, because every single one of us at some point many points over and over again, are going to be in a situation where you want someone to give you the benefit of the doubt instead of assuming that you were doing the worst, instead of assuming that you're hateful or discriminatory. I just feel it's so important that all of us give each other that grace because we all need that grace at some point.
You know what I will challenge is like the people who are giving you shit about not booking more women. It's like, well, what are you policing? You know what I'm saying? It's like people should be getting the opportunity because they're good comics, not because of like I hate when I've been on multiple shows. I've been doing this 10 years. I've been on multiple shows where it's like, yeah, I really needed like, a person of color, so that's why I hit you. I was like, dude, don't hit me up for some shit like that.
And I will say my biggest pet peeve is when someone hits me up and they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing an all-woman show. Can you do it? And of course I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Probably for free, okay? But B, come on.
I just hate that. I hate
Do you
that
think I'm funny? Can you book me just because you think I'm funny, or did you literally save me for the Mother's Day extravaganza?
Yeah, that's the thing that I hate the most is when you're booking to fill a slot.
And I've never done that.
It's like I want to book people who are good. I want people who are funny on the show.
Right.
When you get into all, like if you're really worried about like, oh, well, there's not enough women, and I've never agreed with there's not the whole.
Well, there aren't enough women. There aren't enough women.
No, I just think people need to come in being comics.
Well,
people need to stop coming with like, oh, we need more women in comedy. No, we just need more funny people in comedy.
Well, I think that's the difference between...
It's just not a job. It's just not a job that a lot of women pick. So when I was working on airplanes...
Well, I think it's hard to pick a job, and this is the whole thing of seeing a reflection of yourself. It's hard to pick a job when you don't see yourself in that job. We do need more women comics because females bring a perspective that men obviously don't have. We have something very special, but we still have to be funny.
But
you can't just be a female on stage holding a microphone.
But in the same breath, if not a lot of you are picking that route, why are you mad there's not more of you in?
I'm saying it's having to see a reflection of yourself and believing that you can do it. So I do think it's important.
Well, then that comes down to you. That doesn't come down to society. Listen, when I was working on airplanes...
There are a lot of females that probably got shut down and gave up.
Well, then you weren't cut out for the business.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. I am simply saying I would love to see more women believe in themselves and be funny, but at the same time, I am not going out of my way. I don't have slots. I'm not like, oh, I need a black person. I need 2 women. I need this. I'm like, hey, I'm going to see who's available, and these are the people that are hilarious. I've had female headliners. I've had a show with 3 females, 4 females on it, and it happened by accident. It wasn't a going out of my way thing. But I would love to see more female comics.
But in the same, like I'm saying, when I was working on airplanes, I was in school for it, and there was one chick in our class. And then when the people were coming and they were recruiting for their job, when the chick asked the question, she goes, what's your female ratio of workers to male ratios? And he looks at her, and he gave the smoothest answer. He goes, well, look around your classroom. He's like, look around your classroom. Like, if this is what it is, this isn't a typical route that a woman takes. And I'm not saying like women aren't built for comedy, but it's like this isn't one of the things that allure women to do.
But again, I believe it's and obviously we've broken some ground because we do have big name females, and we are seeing that our brand. We believe in ourselves, and a lot of us are picking up the microphone and we're doing the writing. But it's seeing yourself in the position, okay? That's what I believe.
I get that, but at the same, I'm very much when it comes to things like when it comes to art and all that it comes down to what it means to you. Like I've never looked at comedy and been like, oh man, there's not a lot of mixed representation. I should just be the mixed representation. It's been like, man, I just want to be fucking funny.
Okay, and I get that, and I'm gonna challenge again, and you're gonna hate that I bring this up. Oh my God, he's gonna hate it. This is gonna be a 1-hour segment on this that I'm gonna bring up right now.
Heavy eye roll incoming.
Do you want me to take the sunglasses so they can see your eye roll?
I'll take the sunglasses off. Please say what you're gonna say.
Okay. There have been a lot of instances where women do not feel comfortable in comedy.
Heavy eye roll.
Because of situations that they have been put in. I have been in one, and it wasn't even a situation. It was a brush off. It was a whatever moment. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't a big deal, okay? But and I'm surrounded by guys that I trust, and I know that everything is okay. At the end of the night, I'm getting home safe. There are some females who don't have that community. They don't have that support, and they are put in some really shitty situations. And at the end of the day, if it comes down to your safety or staying out until 2 a.m. with a bunch of strangers at an open mic, knowing that maybe you're not going to get home or you're going to get home worse off than when you left, of course you're not going to do it.
That's oh my God. Like, how dangerous do you think comedy is?
Dude, there are people out there that are doing really shitty
people
things.
Out there in every sort of instances, though.
But
It's not like I.
But when you are surrounded by when you're surrounded by 30 people, and even if just 2 of them are shady, okay, and you have to walk home, that's a dangerous situation. Bro, how mad did you get just because somebody grabbed my ass?
I'm just saying that you're talking, but that's you like this is not comedians aren't getting murdered every day.
No, it's not about murder, but
they're not,
hey, a lot of people don't want to even be touched. A lot of people, if somebody had grabbed their ass at a bar, instead of being like, oh, that guy grabbed my ass, what the fuck, they would not want to go back. It's an uncomfortable situation.
Then you just don't go back to that place. But it's like if that
but
one
that
thing
person
is going to
be at all of the open mics.
If that's going to scare you away from your calling, is it really your calling?
If it comes down to safety or passion, some people will choose safety.
Well, then they don't have the passion, in my opinion.
Females. Hear me. This is my mating call. It's not a mating call. This is my call for you to be
sounding
passionate.
like a predator. You're sounding like someone who's going to get a lot of women out of comedy. This is my mating call for all the women who don't want to do it, but if you want to do it.
If you believe in yourself, if you're in the Springs, come hang out with me. I will keep you safe. Johnny will keep you safe. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
I'll yell.
He will yell. He'll turn his back to anyone who if anyone disrespects you, what he does is he turns his back when they're on stage.
Upon request.
I didn't request you to do that. It was just fucking hilarious. He was like, look what I'm going to do. And he just turned his back.
Look, I'm a champion of the people. Okay? I'm a champion of the people.
All right, so that's it. I just again, you never know the backstory. I am urging everyone to get the full story. And if you can't get the full story, you can have your belief, but just know that beliefs can change, opinions can change. And that's the point of opinions, is that when you get more education, your opinion can change.
I stand strongly with my opinions, regardless of factual backing.
Check out his Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been turned into burritos and tacos. This is not a drill. Call your local fire department. Call your local police department. We are tacos. We need help. We need law enforcement. We need criminal therapists. We need people right now. We have been turned into tacos.
A Chipotle employee.
We have been turned into tacos. We were bitten by a radioactive taco. I don't want to say that he was a Mexican, but I'm just saying a radioactive taco bit us. And I'm not saying like a taco, like a Mexican ate a radioactive taco and then he bit us, and now we are both half taco and we are stuck. We are stuck in this middle we're a half human, half taco. We need sauce. We need blood. We need emergency evacuation to the top of Pikes Peak Hill where we can finish our prayer to return to normal people. But we need to return the earrings that we took from the swap meet. The earrings that we took from the old gypsy woman. We took those earrings from her, and then we gave one of them to the Mexican guy who ate the radioactive taco. Then he bit us, and now we are both half taco, half person. So, if you need your business sponsored by this podcast.
I can't even. Okay, now that I'm breathing. Technically, I'm a cheesy gordita crunch. Email us at hateeverythingpodcast@gmail.com. We will communicate with you swiftly, and we'll get you in as a sponsor.
But we also need an antidote for our half taco, half burrito state of existence. Thank you. Paul Mooney's dead.
I heard.
It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss for the comedy community.
It is a huge loss. Absolutely.
He's fucking legendary. But one of the things I can't stand right now is the amount. I almost play this game every time someone famous dies, where I go,
right, how
long until this person makes a post? There's so many people that just jump on. It's
and do you know which people it's going to be?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Every time I know exactly who's going to post something, how long their post is going to be. Like there's people that I know. I'm just like, it's weird to me.
For Paul Mooney, was it only white people?
Yeah, any white comic that made status, I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you were a huge Paul Mooney fan, I fucking bet.
Here's the thing. I mean, I am white, and I did appreciate a lot of what he did, but I didn't make a post. Also because I only post promos for my own show.
Well, the thing, all right, so here's the thing that bothers me is that, like, people always have these, like, have these posts, and it's like, you didn't even really, I don't believe you. That's the thing that
No,
it's like,
that.
it's like you're doing it so you can, it's like, this is the right thing to say because this person died.
Right.
And it's like, you were a huge
It's more
influence.
virtue signaling.
Yeah, it's a virtue signaling shit. And it's like, oh man, he's such a huge influence. It's like, really? I've seen your set. It doesn't seem very Paul Mooney influenced. Like, you know,
You go on stage in a suit. You're a little more of a John Mulaney man.
right? Get the
I've
fuck
also
out
seen
of
you
here.
doing so much
Oh,
cocaine.
Paul Mooney.
Definitely John Mulaney.
But it's just weird, and I've never like my RIP post was more poking fun at everybody else I was making RIP posts. But it's like I wasn't gonna go out of my way because I understand who Paul Mooney is. I understand what he's done, all the things that he's accomplished.
Right.
But that's not. I can't step in and be like, oh man, what a loss to the. Oh my gosh, what a comedy! It'll never be the same.
I mean, so also we're talking about somebody that had very rich social commentary. So I would have loved to know his take on these posts.
Yeah, could you imagine him like 20 to 30 during these times? Oh
Right.
my God, no one would stand a chance.
Right.
No one would stand a chance. They were so fucking
Absolutely.
ridiculous. And that was one of the things. It's like a lot of the people that I saw giving their condolences are people that I've seen just fucking police comedy into such a corner. I'm like, dude, you wouldn't like anything Paul Mooney would have to say about you.
Burp counter.
Which one was
Agreed. I have no idea. I know that might be the first one on film. That's
Right.
like the 20th one
today?
since in the last 2 hours.
She's super gassy, ladies and gentlemen.
I was so gassy. We shotgunned a beer and it was like very warm and foamy, and it did me dirty. Did me dirty. But I agree with that. I do wonder when you look at somebody like Paul Mooney, okay, and what he has done for comedy, and you just have to wonder again what he would have said, what his take would be. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it as if he were you.
Right. And just fucking going in on
And
it.
just
It would be beautiful.
digging in. I think it would be beautiful. And
But-
my question is, would it have changed anything? Would it have changed
Nah,
the
he would've
current
gotten-
culture? I think he would have gotten canceled.
He would have got 5 minutes in, and then he'd been all over Twitter, and everybody be
Yeah.
like, "Don't buck him, don't do that."
I do think he would have gotten canceled, which is crazy because I mean, look at what he has done for comedy. And I talked to you earlier about the Chris Rock piece,
Yeah.
that just came out, where he is not railing against. I don't want to make it dramatic, but his whole thing on cancel culture is when you start policing comics. You get the shitty award shows that we have. You have shitty comics that are making it big because no one is challenging themselves. And also, it's
No one wants to come off as like the bad guy. And
right.
it was
And
so,
we're disrespecting the audience because now we're policing ourselves instead of the audience weeding us out.
right.
The audience
should-
will weed you out.
The general public should be judge, jury, and executioner on who should. And it's like, and
It was a really good piece. If you haven't checked it out, I would strongly recommend checking it out.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to me, like the whole, like, because I hate talking about cancel culture so much because it's such a prevalent thing. But it's like it's really
Prevalent.
prevalent. I don't find
This segment brought to you by Coors Banquet.
prevalent. What did I say the
It's
wrong?
prevalent.
That's what I just said.
You
prevalent.
said prevalent.
Prevalent. It doesn't fucking matter. They know what I'm saying.
Coors Banquet.
But anyways, it's like I read an article that said Hollywood and a lot of the big movie producers are really sacrificing their comedy aspects of things because
They
they
have
don't
to.
want to risk it.
They have to.
And it's like that's what good, like, what was the last good comedy movie you've seen? There's been nothing in the last 10 years that has really pulled anybody's fucking attention.
Actually, that's a really good question. What is the last good comedy?
What's the last good comedy movie? It's all like every.
I think
movie
mine
that's
was
been
Billy
out,
Madison.
Everything that's been coming out recently is very inclusive and not incendiary and all that sort of shit. But it's like that's what it used to be.
Right.
That's what it used to be. I miss the movies with the hot dumb chick. Because you can get so many jokes off the hot dumb chick. You can get so many jokes off the stereotypical black people in horror movies.
Right.
You're like, could you imagine them trying to make Scary Movie nowadays? It would be people
agree.
would fucking
Yeah.
lose their mind. But that was some of the best comedy
Absolutely.
when it
When she
came
gets
out.
sucked to the ceiling,
Yeah,
with
that's
cum.
hilarious.
It is hilarious. To this day, Anna Faris, hard shout out. I know that you're engaged now, but if you ever want to like come to the dark side, here I am. No, I agree 100%. And again, I do, going back to Paul Mooney, I think it's very interesting that somebody that had such an amazing take on, they had such great social commentary, for that person to have the woke crowd mourning them. I love it.
It's like, dude, you guys would be his number one enemy if he was still in the mainstream doing what he was doing. They would be like, I can't believe he said this. It's almost the same thing that they do with Dave Chappelle whenever he does anything controversial.
Well, I mean, again, and this is going back, and so many of us have revisited the Chappelle show before he told us not to.
Right.
And watching a lot of it, it's hilarious, but I have a little bit of guilt laughing at some of the stuff that I laughed at. But it's the stuff that I was laughing at when it first came out. But I have this new social guilt where I feel like it's inappropriate, but it's funny.
You shouldn't have any guilt if it's a funny joke.
It's hilarious.
If you can understand that it's a joke and it's not like the fucking Bible, this is not the guide to what it is, then you should be able to take any sort of dark joke and move forward with it.
Do you think that some of Chappelle's stuff could be perceived now as hateful?
No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. And there's a lot of people that will find, oh, that was just upset. But it's like he was very aware in the shit that he was doing. Like there's one that always sticks out to me when they're talking about black people getting their reparations. Mm-hmm. And then he's this white newscaster and he's in whiteface and it's so ridiculous. And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he goes, in other news, the crime rate has dropped to 0. What? Did the Mexicans get paid too? And then he looks at the camera and goes, I shouldn't have said that. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, that's fucking good comedy. That's great comedy. And people, we're missing out on so much because everybody's trying so hard to feel protected and be in a safe space.
Because it is about pushing boundaries. And that's the point of comedy, right? Is to take society to a place where they haven't been before and to just keep pushing. Obviously, there is a line between funny and hate. But again, to come back to the Chris Rock piece,
I don't know.
It's about trusting the audience. When you say something and you know that you're coming from a place where you're trying to get a laugh and you don't, and the audience doesn't respond, you're going to try it, 2-3 more times at an open mic, and then you're going to jettison equipment.
Always.
So my thing comes back to trusting the audience and not us maybe policing each other as heavily as we have been. Because holy shit, how many jokes have you felt weird telling? Well, Johnny will tell you none.
None.
Has there ever been a joke that you felt pressure to not tell?
No, there's been jokes where when I feel, because I'm very aware when I write comedy, and it's one of those things. I used to have a lot of trans jokes, and what I would do in order to weed them out.
Of course, he went to this area.
Look, I would tell the first time I would tell these jokes, I would make sure there was trans representation present. I would never just tell it to a group of people that would have nothing to do with trans people. I would make sure that there was either someone from the LGBT community there or a trans person there, and I would be able to tell when I'm telling the joke. I'm like, oh, this comes off a little hateful. This comes off a little attacky.
But you sensed it because of the audience, correct?
Right. And that's the thing. It's like you really need to.
But you weren't being hateful.
Right. And the joke, I remember there was a couple jokes where I told him, I was like, man, that came off super hateful. And I had to go back to the drawing board and figure out, all right, so why did it come off hateful? And it's because I said this. So let me change this.
So you actually had to write.
Right.
Huh.
But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like if you can, but I was in an area that was very allowing for me to take these chances. I want to say there's like 2 or 3 of my jokes where if someone would have videotaped them in verse form, I probably wouldn't be able to do anything. And it's like I can admit that, like I said some weird shit that was off the wall or out of line, out of context.
But you were pushing a boundary and you were trying to mine the funny.
Right, I'm trying to find the funny.
Right,
and it's like it came off wrong the first time. But then after a couple iterations, it's like, oh, I see where he's going with this. I see why this is funny.
Right.
And then I eventually worked it into a funny joke.
Have you ever told a joke where you felt like you were making fun of yourself or your community too much and you allowed people to be hateful? Because I had this situation.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest struggle is making jokes, self-deprecating in some way, shape, or form. But I felt like because of who came on after me and what they said, and you know the situation that I'm talking about. I made a joke, and the guy that came on after me then referenced me as a dyke, and I felt like I had given him permission to say that. And now I'm afraid of I'm very afraid of that joke. I haven't told the joke since.
No, I wouldn't say you're giving permission with the joke. You're doing your set, and then they feel comfortable enough to take that shot. Versus you're not giving permission. They're like, okay, maybe I could play off that.
I definitely felt like, and it didn't land. So hopefully they took that from the audience, not from me. But I did feel very fearful of when I'm saying these things, and I am who I am, and I know that it's funny, and the audience gets what I'm saying. I am very afraid that I am giving permission for somebody to essentially be hateful.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's all on the comic. It's all.
So that's all in my head.
It's never. You can't be responsible for what another comic says.
I understand that, but still. But you said that you had a similar situation. What was your situation in that?
My situation is more like I would tell a joke, and then afterwards, some of the audience members would be like, "Oh yeah, that's so true." Like when I did my, I know all the lyrics to Kendrick Lamar, but I also know how to spell, pronounce, and identify quinoa as being half black and half white. I remember I was outside and the audience members like, "Oh, you're half black, half white, so that must mean you love Neil Diamond and stealing." So
you basically gave them the premise for roasts.
Right, and it was like the way they said it, I was like, "Oh man, you're being hateful." But,
right.
But in the same breath, it's like, I don't think I gave them permission to, but it's like, that's on them for thinking that they can say that.
I get that. Okay. I get that.
So
anyway, back, I would love to know what Paul Mooney would say about the posts that are being written about him.
Dude, he would probably not
by
accept,
the people that are writing
probably not
them.
accept half the fucking rest in peace request. He's like, "No, I will not if you're requesting it."
I mean, and also I'm going to take it one step further, and we had talked about this a little bit. When someone does pass away, and obviously it's not at a Paul Mooney level, but when someone does pass away, and you kind of know the community, and you kind of know that those two people didn't really interact very much.
Who's going to ride that fucking?
Or
who's going to get some likes today?
I mean, there are even situations where I know those two people didn't even like each other.
Right.
And you get, again, it comes back to virtue signaling. And here's the thing, respecting someone even when you didn't like them. There's a Golden Girls episode about this. We'll watch it later, I'm sure. He's dying to watch it. Respecting someone and their life and celebrating their life, even if you didn't particularly care for them, and that's a beautiful thing. But to make it
I feel like it's
so public, I don't think it's disrespectful.
Because, all right, so one of the things, and this might just be a personal belief
My
of
thing is
mine.
just not making it public. I think when you can do it in your heart and you can and maybe celebrate them in some way, shape, or form that's personal to you, I think that's very important. But
right.
to make it so public, it's almost embarrassing.
Well, I feel like it's disrespectful. One of the things I take pretty seriously is death. Because, death is finite.
This is like the one thing that you take seriously.
It's the one thing I take seriously. It's the one thing I never try and disrespect. And if I do, if you find it, call me out on it. But, like, I know when I was in the military, it was like my first month at my duty station, and 2 people had died.
I remember this.
And they were like, "Oh, well, you need to go to their funeral." And I was like, I feel like I shouldn't go to the funeral. They're like, "No, you need to go to show support." And I'm like, I didn't know them.
Right.
And like, my biggest fear is that I show up to someone's funeral who I don't know, and then there's someone there's like, "Oh, well, how'd you know so and so?" And it's I was told to be here. Like, that feels shittier.
Or having to lie. I mean, because in
Right.
that position you would have to lie, and now how awful would you feel then?
No, I wouldn't lie. I'd be like, I don't know. I was told to be here.
I would be the one that makes something up to console, and then I would just hate myself for the next 20 years of my life.
No, and that's why I can't do that. I can't hold on to that.
I get that.
I can't hold on to faking caring about someone's. I'm not saying like these people didn't matter, but it's like this was not my fucking. This is not my lane.
Right.
I like when people die, unless it was something that like meant something to me, I might say something.
Right.
But other than that, I kind of leave it alone.
Basically, if you haven't drank in my car when I was driving you to a show or an open mic, or if you aren't a former player for the 1996 Baltimore Orioles, I'm not mourning you publicly. I'm not going to mourn you publicly. That's it. That's my bottom line.
I'll tell people like, "Damn," and then keep it moving. That's about it.
Right. I'm going to vague post the shit out of it. Or my family, because I feel like the producer right now is.
I'll cry for some family. Is there some family you won't cry for?
Yes. Oh, dude, My dad passed away, and I took my dead dad money and bought a truck. I was happy the whole time. I got a Baltimore Orioles truck. It's a big orange black beast. And I was just, the whole way, I was like, no, I'm paying cash.
And it doesn't get where it needs to go 90% of the time.
It sits in my driveway. Well, of course.
It's batting 0 for 33. I don't know how to.
Please don't do baseball references. Jesus Christ. Don't do baseball references. I won't talk Madden with you if you never talk baseball with me. Please.
I'm just going to keep throwing out random baseball things that I know.
But I do think, again, just because they're family, it doesn't matter to me. It has to be somebody that meant something to you, and it has to be sincere. And I feel like that's the problem, is that in these posts, you can tell when something is insincere.
Yeah.
You can feel it. You can feel it.
And you know what it is? When I start seeing like an exorbitant amount of likes, I'm just like, oh, you fucking piece of shit. You could have kept that to yourself. You didn't need everybody like, oh, look at how sad this person is. I know they meant so much to you.
Right.
I hate that shit.
When Johnny dies,
do it for the likes.
I'll be silent.
Yeah, be silent.
I am going to be silent. Are you kidding me? Because I got to promote my next show.
When I die, I want you to wait 3 months and then be like, has anybody heard from Johnny? Where's Johnny at?
We're behind in our podcast. I told Johnny I have a very specific rule. My only rule when I die, which I don't want any posts either. My only rule is that Johnny gets my phone and destroys it. That's it. And any kind of I don't know if you have to like go through like my actual T-Mobile account to really destroy everything. I just destroy my phone and just move on with your life.
I'm just going to try and flush it down the toilet.
And find another female comic to do the podcast with you who kind of looks like this thing.
I'm just going to try and flush it down the toilet, and then when it doesn't work, I'm just going to give it to a news reporter.
It's God's will. It is God's will.
I tried flushing it, but nothing happened, so here you go. Whatever's on there.
Just don't make it a toilet in my house. Find a porta potty. So talking about the Colemans.
This section of the podcast is brought to you by Gary Coleman.
And Jen
Coleman.
Beautiful
if you don't know the Colemans, they are a very wealthy, connected family here in Colorado Springs.
They work very hard.
They work very hard. They are responsible for a lot of the gentrification of the black neighborhoods in Colorado Springs.
Absolutely. You don't see a lot of black people, and you know who to blame.
They buy a lot of buildings.
They watch soccer, which is very white.
They also support Hamas.
I didn't want to come out with that one, but it is true.
No, that's their mission statement. Their
Absolutely.
mission statement is we support gentrification and Hamas.
And what they're not supporting,
they are wealthy Americans,
is our Patreon.
They are invested in America. They believe in this country.
Proud Americans.
They believe in this country. They believe in Looney's Comedy Corner here at Colorado Springs.
And Uber.
And Uber. And
Proud
they are
supporters.
actively supporting terrorist regimes.
So we're shouting out to the Colemans right now because we love you, we adore you, and we're just wondering why you're not supporting our Patreon yet. I mean, seriously, we could talk about Matt Gaetz, but every time we bring him up, I just want to put on more clothes. So
Matt Gaetz? I knew somebody who hit him with a milkshake.
What?
There's a video. It's nothing too dramatic, but he was at some like restaurant and he was walking out, and there's this chick. This was when I was living in Pensacola, Florida. I met her.
And this all is starting to make all the cogs are spinning in the right direction, and it's all starting to make sense.
So she went to the restaurant, and when he walked out, she threw her milkshake at him, and it hit him.
Right.
And then she got arrested immediately.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think is bullshit. First of all, that's beautiful. Is the clip still available?
We could probably find it.
We're finding the video.
It's just Google Matt Gaetz gets hits with a milkshake. It's not the best video.
Who cares? I want to see it.
It's not the best video, but she ended up in a bunch of legal trouble.
Well, I mean, he has very deep pockets.
Yeah, and that's what it was like. Yeah, there's someone you don't hit with a milkshake, it's probably a political figure.
It's the guy that's sex trafficking minors across state lines. You don't want to hit him with a milkshake. You don't want to have him come to your yard, ladies.
Right, because when you see the video, because I had her added on Facebook, the amount of legal trouble she was in, It was like so scary to see.
That is insane.
It was so scary to see on Facebook. She's like asking for GoFundMe.
Was it a
like,
full milkshake?
Yeah, like I'm telling you, when you see the video,
we're bringing up the video. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna watch it together.
But it's one of those things where I was like, oh shit! And now that it's like, oh, he was sex trafficking, it's like, oh, that's why it was such a legal nightmare.
Because he didn't want any videos of him online. Oh my God, it's right here. Oh my God, I did not know we were gonna get it that fast.
Look, I'll tell.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I appreciate the explanation. At Brouhaha.
Yeah, they were all there protesting him.
Shout out to Pensacola. Okay. Why were they protesting him at this point?
I don't fucking know.
Because he was a piece of shit before he was a piece of shit before we knew that he was fucking minors.
Politics at all. Until Trump was in.
Oh, this is 2019, so Trump was in.
Well, Trump was dominating the airwaves.
I get that, and I never saw this clip.
I don't know where
I saw
it's
Trump doing this a lot.
Here we go. Look, here we go.
Okay, I want to see it. Yes! Oh my God, I wanted it to hit him in the face. God damn it!
Right, look, his shirt didn't even really get messed up. You know what I'm saying?
A milkshake that didn't even really hit. It wasn't even that good of a lob. I love that you know this person.
Oh, yeah. Look, immediately pointing. Look, there's nothing on his shirt. Look, he got away scot-free. Oh, no, that is a fishing shirt. Is it a fishing shirt?
No, that's like J. Crew. It's probably one of the ones that's like extra breathable. So you can go fuck a minor afterwards and not get too sweaty. So here's what makes me so mad about this. And I know
Look, run it back to the throw. The throw was terrible.
It's a bad throw. Okay, ladies, I'm just saying. You don't have to be a lesbian to be in softball. I would urge everyone to go ahead and join sports.
Look, it was on point.
No, it wasn't.
No, look, it was on point. He had a turn at the last second.
It wasn't on point.
Look, right here, look. He turns and it just fucking...
And that's why I should have hit him in the face.
It lands right in the bread basket. It lands right in the... If this was the NFL...
Right in the bread basket.
If that was the NFL, I think if you fast forward, you can see her getting arrested. They like put her up against the car. Yeah, right there.
Oh my God! And the good vibes.
Right.
The best of vibes. You know, one of those officers is like, "This is bullshit." One of them was like, "This is bullshit," and the other one was like, "I gotta protect my people.
I gotta protect the senator."
Yeah, I gotta protect my Confederate flag truck. No, I think he's a congressman.
I don't know the difference between any of that. I talk so much shit about politics, and
they work in different buildings. I think is the only difference. Am I right, production?
They work in separate rooms in the same building.
Oh well, then I am incorrect.
And technically speaking, congressman covers both representatives and senators because both houses comprise the U.S. Congress.
Look at us. Why would you ever take us seriously?
I didn't understand anything that just got said.
This segment is brought to you by Wild Turkey, Coors Banquet, and marijuana.
Right.
So here's why that clip makes me so angry. Aside from the fact that she got arrested and the fact that it was not a good throw. Oh, let me get my... Oh, also brought to you by candle lighters.
Why does the clip make you angry?
Again, I'm going to take us down a rabbit hole. And Chris, do you know what I'm going to be referencing now? So I want to say it was like, 7 years ago? It doesn't matter. Chris is the production. I'm just going to keep looking at him for security, really. About 7 years ago, the Orioles were playing in Toronto.
Oh, here we go.
No. No, this is significant. The Orioles are playing in Toronto, okay? And our left fielder, Nate McLouth, I called him Nate McClutch. I had a jersey. It was very clever. It was a very clever play on a name. Very clever.
This is the beginning of Tracy's comedy.
He got hit in the face with a full beer bottle.
Okay.
He got hit in the face during a game with a full beer bottle, okay, by a Toronto fan. And that guy, I don't even think he didn't even get he didn't get kicked out of the park. So the Mounties were like, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, it's three strikes and you're out kind of thing. Can you imagine?
Hold on.
There's a huge difference. I'm just saying we're talking
about
an athlete. The injustices of society.
No, he's an athlete.
Hit in the face with a beer bottle?
Coming. He didn't see it coming.
No, he's not. He's
Was he
playing
wearing
a game.
Oakley shades?
No, he probably had a
Then
little
that's
eye
on
black.
him. He wasn't wearing
He had a
protective
little eye
eyewear.
black, I'm sure. Actually, I don't
wasn't
think he wore anything.
He wasn't wearing protective eyewear.
I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure they offer that
I'm
up.
sorry, can you imagine being a baseball player and now you have to fucking watch the stands plus the game because you're going to get hit in the face
Was
with
he
a fucking
white?
ball? Yeah, he was white.
Oh, well, that's why. If he was black, he would be aware of everything going on around him.
I don't know why it went to that level, but it's just infuriating. You know what I mean? Like somebody gets hit in the face, they're injured. And now we have fucking Gates and his goddamn milkshake from Shake Shack. Which, by the way, huge waist.
It didn't even fuck his shirt up.
I'm just saying.
Upset.
Yeah, me too. Again, a bad throw. But no shade on her. She's lovely.
She didn't look like...
Good vibes.
She didn't look like a quarterback.
Good vibes.
She didn't look like a quarterback. She didn't look like a pitcher.
There are some pitchers that look like that, bro. So you brought something up, and what do you want to talk about?
So are you going to get your vaccine?
I am.
You are?
Did I tell you the story about my vaccine?
No, tell me the story about your vaccine.
So it was in the news. I don't know if you saw it. So I signed up. I was very excited to get it. And it was going to be the Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
NBD. I'm not worried about mutation. When you're in the military, you get so many shots, you know, and when
you were just ready.
When I went to Korea, I got so many shots. Like I have the crazy one that puts a scar in your arm. Like I'm safe, I think, from everything, okay? And so I signed up, and the clinic that I signed up for, so the night before, it was Thursday, I had my showcase. The next morning at 9:00, I was supposed to go get my first shot, or my second shot. It doesn't matter. So I was supposed to go get a shot. I got too drunk. So way too drunk, like blackout drunk. So I canceled the next day appointment. Because there was no way I was going to be up at 9. I get an email telling me that the clinic that I was supposed to get the shot at had been shut down. The National Guard had been called in because they hadn't been properly storing the vaccinations.
So you're getting some black market shit.
Yes. The National Guard literally was called in to Dr. Moma's office. It was all over the news.
Oh, wow.
And they had to take control over the vaccine.
Wow.
All of them. All the vials.
So they weren't storing them?
They weren't storing them properly. So then they told everyone that if you had previous shots, you have to go somewhere else and you have to get revaccinated.
Oh, gross.
Yes. So I am signed up. I am registered to get the vaccine. I am getting the vaccine again because if I'm going to mutate, I'm actually excited for it. I would love it. Maybe I could lose a couple
Maybe you get
pounds.
some fucking superpowers.
Maybe I could get some gills. Like
Maybe you'll be able to
big
punch
picture.
through wood. Do you want to punch through the wood?
If I get the vaccine,
Will you
my
punch
promise
through the
to
wood?
you is I will try to not. Dude, you know how dumb it is to try to punch through wood this thick?
Well, that's why you need to do it.
So I will actually.
Because if you punch through punchable wood, then that's not superpowers.
I will get into a fist fight with Johnny if I get the vaccine. And that's my promise to you and our viewers. So anyway.
We'll do a World Star video.
So it was very jarring to get that email. And then you see all over the news, there were literally pictures of the National Guard coming in and clearing this place out. And what's wild is that it was at this really seedy hotel. And I kind of
How did you not know it wasn't gonna? It was at a seedy hotel. You didn't know it was fucking black market
my
shit?
first therapist worked out of this hotel, so I was like, "Look, some people they just want a discounted break on rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a big deal.
So
it was a huge
hold
deal.
on.
It was a huge deal.
So it was out of a motel room.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At the satellite motel.
Why would you? And you're concerned that you got an email about that? You're concerned that you got an email about a vaccination clinic running out of a hotel room?
I'm very trusting.
It really shook me to my core that this business running out of a hotel room.
So that's why I'm not fully
got
vaccinated
shut
yet,
down.
because the National Guard kept me from getting fully vaccinated.
No, it's because you were trying to get black market vaccinations. They do them at Safeway. Just go to Safeway.
I was also going to get ass injections at the same time. Did I forget to mention that?
So just a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
Were you serious? You're going to get ass injections?
No.
I was about to say, get the fuck out of here.
No, I have a huge ass. No, thank you. No, thank you. But that's why I'm not fully vaccinated yet. Yeah.
That is the worst reason to not be fully vaccinated.
That's the best reason to not be fully vaccinated.
No, it's not, because...
Is the National Guard getting called in where you got fucking vaccinated
But
at?
you're talking...
But
you didn't. You weren't going to get vaccinated at, like, a place. You were going to a motel room?
I mean, now that
why did this get shut down? Because it's in a fucking motel room,
now that
Tracy.
It's being articulated, it does sound kind of shady.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not industrial next to the fucking.
It was like our beer fridge with
A
a
beer
bunch
fridge.
of Johnson and Johnson.
They're watching fucking Maury on the TV show. They're watching Maury on the
Drinking
TV giving fucking.
Coors Banquet. Did your medical practice get shut down and the National Guard have to come in to rectify the situation? Coors Banquet.
Here I am worried about the efficacy of the vaccine. I'm worried about the social pressure that's coming with the vaccine. And you're like, yeah, my seedy motel clinic.
To be fair, they had the first available appointment. To be fair, they did have the first available.
I bet they fucking did. I bet you were the only person. What's the address? Oh, the Motel 6. Well, I guess this is a pop-up. It's a pop-up vaccination site.
I don't know. I was
They're
expecting...
getting ready to do one in a strip club.
I heard about that in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes. I heard about that. Honestly, look, you get a lot of people in. They want to make sure that their clientele are safe so that the girls can be safe. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, but you don't. It's not like you get the shot and then immediately you're safe.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
But ultimately you're safe, and we're talking about a lot of them are probably regulars.
Hold on. If I'm hanging out with if you actively had COVID, right?
Which I probably do.
And I walk.
I'm kidding.
And I walk out of this garage and get a vaccination at my car, and then walk back in.
Yeah, you're still exposed to COVID.
It's still dangerous, and you're just like, hey, take a shot, and then they'll put the pussy in your face. It's going to be skin to skin contact.
I feel like a lot of people from Las Vegas, they're not getting the shot. So I feel like this is a great way to promote getting the shot. And I'm sure they also have like a drink special or something for the people who get the shot, right? Or like you get like a lap dance in the fucking champagne room.
I want to know the nurse that has to go do that.
Oh my God.
The orderly or whoever it is. It's like,
I would love to know that person.
They need a medical professional on site.
Right. At Tits and Tails.
At Tits and Tails.
Club.
And she went to school for this.
Right. She went to school. Dude, she went to school for years.
And now she's at some Vegas strip club. I was in the nursing program too. I'm here until my credits transfer over.
Labia out the whole time. Just labia.
And then there's going to be one stripper that is a nurse.
Of course.
You know, it's going to be one stripper that was like...
Look, it's a great moonlighting opportunity. You know what I mean? Get your 500 a night.
I was over at St. Mary's today, and let me tell you, they have no idea how many cc's of fluorophol goes into the syringe. And then that girl's going to be like, yeah, right, girl. Then she's going to be there for like a month doing this.
Right.
And she's going to be like, look, girl, you cute. You cute.
Come on over. I got a locker for you.
Look, come on. Sundays are our slowest day.
You can dance like this. Tits out. Mild titty work.
Look at what COVID
That's
is
what
opening
Trump,
up.
that's how Trump dances, right?
COVID is opening up so many opportunities for people.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Big
Broadening
T.
horizons.
It's Big T. It's all Big T.
So real quick, while we're talking about Big T, you said it. You said the code word.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Where in the world is Big T? Tracy, can you pull out the map, please?
I'm not going to do it gracefully, but I can pull it out.
Pull out the motherfucking map.
I never have
need to
anything
figure out
pull
where
out
Big
gracefully.
T is.
Here we go. All right. It's so tall now.
Look.
Oh my
Stop
God.
complaining and get the fucking map over. Look, you're going to fuck it up.
I might need production. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Tape out. So we already decided last episode that he's not in Angola, Africa. Do we have a Sharpie on by?
Absolutely. Oh, I have a pen. Wait, production's going to...
There we go. We're all good.
Okay, guys. Where in the world is Big T? Here's the thing. We don't know where he is, but we know where he's not.
Have you ever seen A Cat in the Hat?
Yes.
Like the original? This is Calculatus Eliminatus.
Okay.
It's the best friend that we've got.
Right.
Because to find the missing something, we have to find out where it's not.
All right. This segment brought to you by all the wild turkey that we drank.
Come on.
Okay. Look, again, you know where I'm going to navigate you. It's going to be somewhere in Africa because we know Big T would not go to Africa. Do you think he's in
the Democratic Republic of the Congo? Do you think he's there? It's a big enough name.
I know
it's a long enough name.
I also know that he is not at the America-Mexico border. But if you don't want to have to scratch that off just yet.
Do you think he's in South Sudan?
He is definitely not in South Sudan. I know that for a fact.
South Sudan?
I say let's eliminate South Sudan. Let's get a little closer to knowing where Big T is right now. He's behind a computer doing his from the desk of Donald Trump, but it's not from South Sudan.
It's not from South Sudan, which is a country in Africa.
Actually, it's a province.
But you know what I also learned is that Providence is not even the right word. It's province.
Yeah, Providence is like, isn't it a place in like Maine? Or Massachusetts?
In all the main cities of Africa.
That'd be Rhode Island.
Oh, they're all the same. They have lobster bisque. I don't know. A Providence? Wait, so it would be, where are their provinces?
China. China has provinces.
China has provinces. Is it only China?
Canada.
Canada
has provinces, which we already talked about Canada, and fuck the Blue Jays. That has been this week's episode of the Hate Everything podcast. I hope you guys had a great time. I know that we did.
I had a great time. I'm way too many beers deep for this early in the day, but I'm telling you, I think that was a good time. I had a blast.
I'm going to go take a nap in a hammock in my taco costume. It's going to be really comfortable.
Well, there you go.
So tune in. Of course, check out our Patreon, guys, because we have so much bonus content there. We have different tiers for subscribers, so check it out. See if there's something that tickles your fancy.
Right, and if you subscribe, you get a free swag bag, so might as well just go ahead and get some free gear while you're at it.
Swagger bag, gear with my mug and Johnny's mug all over it, and we all know that's what you guys want.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been the Hate Everything podcast. I'm Johnny Bratsveen.
I'm Tracy Kellett.
And you guys enjoy your night.
Good night.